they might not be in the same conference, Greg, but with any top team, they want to show they can compete with the best teams out of conference, too.
Look at Cleveland's starting group. T-Wade out there with Kyrie Irving. Then it's Anthony, and it's LeBron James, and it's Thompson in at the pivot spot, manning the middle.
You know, the Cavs last season won a bunch of games, but they had to fight for a lot of them. They often would fall behind early or dig a big hole and have to fight their way out of it.
Cleveland with the ball. T-Wade on the wing. First quarter. And the shot is good.
Game in and game out, his offense is going to be there for him.
Against the Bulls in Chicago.
And they ran their off in that one. Very few possessions were wasted.
That time, I mean, in front of a hostile crowd, they never let the fans get going. They silenced them over and over again with big, timely shots.
Now here's Anthony, following the miss by Zach Randolph. Carter outside, kicks it to Conley. Inside, here's Gasol. Thompson with the rebound.
And although he doesn't quite get the block, he does get the missed field goal attempt because of his ability to alter the shot.
Well, almost as effective as a block. I mean, made him completely change his release point, and I think that caused the miss.
And the thing about LeBron James, he's really done a nice job of reshaping his game over the years. I mean, every veteran goes through losing a little speed and quickness. The great ones compensate by getting stronger and more physically imposing, not to mention also their basketball IQ grows as well, just as has been the case for LeBron.
That's how you make an impact with defense. Once the steal is made, you know they're going to be scattered. The floor is open. Take care of business.
Always an advantage when you can get out in the open floor. You get much better rhythm offensively, and this lead, I think, is headed up.
We're talking about the strength of LeBron now. We saw Michael Jordan do this too. They paid a lot of attention to their body as they got older, and thus they became more sculpted. They looked more physical.
Exactly. Leaned up and altered their games a bit. Not nearly as high flying, but just as potent and as effective.
Here's Thompson, and he drops it in from the low post. Thompson's got his second basket of the game.
Yes, strong move to the basket there. Nice power to get that up and in.
Gasol, a screen on Irving. Conley dishes to Gasol. Carter with it. He's picked up by LeBron. Shot clock at 5. Outside Carter. Carmelo Anthony comes up with the rebound.
And that's playing into the hands of the defense right there.
No way you can sneak that shot by him, Greg. I mean, he was all on top of that one.
And, folks, he does more than just put 2 points onto their lead. He does it with a little bit of flair.
He sure does. You're right. It's a dazzling move to the bucket for him.
I'll tell you what, he may not be the biggest man in the league, guys, but he more than makes up for that lack of size with amazing aerial skills.
Now here's Conley. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game, and he gets it to go.
You know, huge height advantage there, but because of the great body control, he's able to cancel it out.
Agreed. The body control essential in that situation. I mean, if you're giving up a bunch of height, then you better be able to manufacture things in the air.
Now Conley. After the missed 3 by Carmelo. Good-looking screen by Gasol. Randolph. And the foul on Carmelo Anthony. That's his first foul.
And you can see he just didn't get squared up with his feet.
Greg, those are always tough to judge, but I think the official got that one right.
Catching up on the changes for Memphis. Chris Anderson is checked in for Gasol. White comes in for Zach Randolph. Barnes, he's checked in for Vince Carter. Lance Stevenson subbed in for Tony Allen. Now here's Wright, following the miss by Lance Stevenson. Anderson, a screen on Wade. Stevenson with it. Wade picks him up. And it's Stevenson again missing. The Cavaliers leading by 3. Dorsberg had a chance to catch up with head coach Dave Yeager. Doris, what do you have to say?
I asked him if there was an X factor in this game, a player they couldn't forget about, and he said it would have to be Tristan Thompson, the power forward out of Texas. He said Thompson is still developing from a skill standpoint, but his motor is really off the charts. You always have to find him and get a body on him when the shot goes up because the guy never takes a play off. Guys, they've been forewarned. We'll see if they take it to heart.
Thank you, Doris. Here's James. The Grizzlies making the shot. Back to Irving. The rebound by Anderson.
That was a good rebound right there, but they haven't been very strong on the glass so far.
Clark, a little disparity there in the rebound numbers, but some of that comes down to how the ball bounces. Let's see if it evens out.
Wade outside. Here's Thompson. The shot's good on the assist by Wade. Wade's got 3 assists in the game. Goes up on the high post. No good.
Major defensive lapse right there. And he's not a player you can leave open for a jump shot. You got to stay attached to him. They're lucky he couldn't punish them for it.
And indeed, they're going to look at it again. They need to be certain he beat the buzzer.
Yeah, and at this point in the game, you know, some might say, hey, can't we just skip the replay this time around? But you just never know.
Yeah, anything can happen. I mean, they want to get the call right, and the league is taking steps to speed the process with the Replay Review Center in Secaucus queuing up the footage for the...
And they've seen enough. The basket will not count. The quarter has come to an end before the shot.
Still important to have a second look at it, Kevin. I mean, the technology's available, so you might as well use it.
Absolutely. And a good game so far as we conclude the first quarter. Cavaliers ahead, leading by 3. And we'll be back in just a moment with the start of the second quarter.
All right, fans, let's get up. Let's get loud for you.
Well, it's been a tight one so far as we get the second quarter going back here. And taking a look at the Cavaliers' performance here, what do you guys see?
It's been about the pace. You can see they're going to try to keep this game in the open floor.
Yeah, and, you know, it's been a tempo that they like, and they're getting some easy buckets in transition here.
On the floor for Cleveland, getting going here in the second. We've got Jefferson. Anderson is out there with Channing Frye. Then there's Austin Rivers. And it's Iverson in at the shooting guard. Last season, Memphis fell late and would end up with the 5th seed in the NBA playoffs. Only one of 2 teams to make the playoffs each of the last 5 seasons, along with the San Antonio Spurs.
Yeah, and they were a team that nobody wanted to play. Memphis drew Portland in that first round, and even though they were the 5th seed, they had home court advantage.
Stevenson kicks to Allen. Anderson with the block. 3-on-3. Here's Rivers. Can't get it to go. Some solid defense from Randolph. And now here comes Conley leading the break. Allen's shot is off.
Usually if he gets to the rim, he's converting it into points. But the defense stood tall there. You know, guys, Memphis waltzed through the first round against Portland. The second round, a lot tougher against Golden State. They went up 2-1 in that series, but couldn't hold on to that lead.
Conley, the pass to Randolph. From 10 feet out, that's good. Randolph's got 6. The Cavaliers have gone 1 of 3 to start out the second quarter. And Anderson gets it to go.
And guys, Memphis would lose 2 of their 3 games at home against Golden State. So things got tough with the Conley injury and missing Tony Allen as well. But they did put up a good fight, ultimately, though, falling in 6 games to the Warriors.
Randolph can't hit. The Cavaliers leading by 4. Rivers dishes to Iverson. Six on the shot clock. From deep. No good. Now Memphis takes it the other way. Following this game, they'll hit the road to challenge the Pacers at Pacers Arena in Indianapolis. That will be a getaway game for them, a 1-game road trip. That's good.
And that assist got him a little nod from his teammate after that one.
And a little under 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second quarter. Free throw line jump shot, and Allen with the block. And now it's Allen running. He can go all the way. And that one's good by Stevenson. Stevenson's got the game tied up here for the Grizzlies.
And that's a great play on the backboard for him. I mean, it's what we expect. All his second chance points do not come by accident.
Here's Rivers.
And you talk about momentum. That sort of action delivers a type of energy to your team that you just can't quantify.
You know what? I'm going to quantify it right now, Clark. And this is a close game, and that was something special.
And really,
Good try.
In a game, you guys, in a game like this, though, when you have a chance to send a message, you do. And boy, did he ever on that play.
That was a nice replay brought to you by Kia.
That shot becomes effortless for him when the D is so relaxed. They've got to get more intense.
Gasol, a screen on Rivers. Conley kicks to Gasol. Stevenson outside. Fires from deep. Stevenson missing again.
You know, Channing Frye signed a 4-year, $32 million contract in 2014. And in the very first leg of that contract, promptly had his worst season in 5 years. In fact, he even lost his starting job along the way.
Gasol against Iverson. From deep. An absolute bomb from three-point range. And now a 6-point Cavalier lead. Grizzlies have gotten a little under 50% of their second quarter shots to find the mark. 4 of 9 all told. Well, talking about Channing Frye last year, the three-point shot still there for the second straight season, Greg. He hit the second most threes among power forwards again, standing in back of Kevin Love.
Yeah, and offensively fine, but that defense, Kevin, was not there. And Frye was neither quick enough or aggressive enough to stop anyone. And you know he has the talent. It's up to him. He's got to dig a little deeper if he really wants to realize his potential.
So Memphis going with almost an entire new group here. Chris Anderson is checked in for Gasol. White comes in for Zach Randolph. Matt Barnes is checked in for Lance Stevenson. And it's Carter in for Allen. On defense, the Cavaliers. They lead by 6, their biggest margin. And Tristan Thompson gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul. And it's a completely new group on the floor for the Cavaliers. 1:25 left to play here in the second quarter. Carter against Iverson. Out to Conley. 5 to shoot. And again, Memphis no good. Cleveland leading by 6. They've definitely hit that groove offensively.
They sure have, guys. I mean, really aggressive. And I like that posture and mindset. Stay aggressive.
Greg, you like groove, don't you?
I do. Let's groove tonight, Kevin. And matter of fact, let's just stay in the attack mode that we're seeing from these guys. They're getting whatever they want.
You know, Dave Yeager, the coach for the Grizzlies, has really become a big-name coach quite quickly. You know, he's worked his way up the Memphis coaching ladder and has had a ton of success early on in his career.
Barnes kicks to Conley. Another miss by Conley.
And no excuse there for missing that one after being freed up by a great pick.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, they came away empty, but they got the look they wanted, and really, I like the movement and communication there.
And the success we've been mentioning with Coach Dave Yeager. He was the second fastest active coach to get to 100 wins.
And Kevin made his way in terms of coaching, started in the D-League and other minor leagues before becoming an assistant with the Grizzlies, and really was the architect, if you will, of the defense that his team is so well known for. He's done a lot for this franchise and looks to be on track to become their winningest coach ever.
They set the screen. And it's Carter penetrating. Another miss, and they desperately need a bucket.
Boy, they just cannot take the lid off.
Well, they need a basket in the worst possible way, and they've got to stop this run, and the only way you do that, you got to score yourself.
And that concludes the first half. Cavaliers lead by 10.
Carmelo, I know that Coach has stressed communication.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Well, 2 quarters down, 2 to go. Welcome back. Ernie, the first quarter for the Cavaliers was fairly even. Their biggest lead during the
playing with has been fantastic. They're pushing the ball in transition and catching the defense. That's snapping, Ernie. Anyway, a huge chunk of their offense has come on the break. They've got a nice lead, but they shouldn't slow anything down. I say keep doing what you do.
How about you, Kenny? What'd you think about Memphis?
Can this team please get fired up on defense? I mean, get angry, get upset. Guys are way too soft and giving up way too many good.
Just about time for the third quarter to get underway, and we'll see you again at the Horn.
And the third quarter about ready to get underway.
Iverson was playing great. He's got 10 points, and he's got 2 baskets from out in three-point land.
And I'm sure they'd like to get a few more of those out of him.
Conley and Allen in the backcourt. Randolph is the 4 with Gasol in the middle. And it's Carter in at the small forward position. That's the 5 to begin the second half for Dave Yeager. Rivers kicks to Anderson. And he takes that one up and powers it through.
With that reverse jam, the fans got a little extra show there.
That one definitely had something, you're right, extra on it.
Man, I got to pick my jaw up off the floor after that one, guys.
Picked by Randolph. Some nice passing there by Memphis. Conley inside the line. Good, and the assist goes to Gasol. Going over some of the quickest players in the league, you think about Mike Conley and Clark. What sets him apart is that he's always under control, I think.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I mean, he takes great care of the basketball, uses the change of speed and hesitation moves to get where he wants to go, and he's masterful in getting into the lane and finishes with both hands.
Here's Gasol. It's rebounded by Richard Jefferson.
And the fadeaway was the only option he had on that one. Defender there all over. You know what? Tried to step in and cut him off, but just didn't get there quick enough.
Yeah, he was one step late that time, Greg.
And it's a completely new group on the floor for the Cavaliers.
Not good shot selection. Long range and a defender all up in your jersey.
And, you know, that's just the kind of defensive work he's known for. I mean, he can take that shot away from you and does it more times than not.
Gasol passes to Randolph. And the shot is good. Randolph's got 8.
The defense has not been able to keep the ball out of the paint at that end of the floor.
And I'd be interested to know just how many of these attempts have come from inside of 5 feet.
And here's Anthony from the arc. Count the bucket. And the Cavaliers lead by 11.
Another pass put right into the shooter's pocket, right in the shooting pocket for a terrific assist. They've done a lot of that today.
And it's something we haven't seen much of at the opposite end of the floor.
Lance Stephenson's checked in for the Grizzlies.
Lance Stevenson.
For Memphis, they've gone 3 of 5 to start the second half, developing a nice rhythm out there. Allen outside. He dishes it to Gasol. Shoots from the baseline. Shot is off. And Cleveland the other way now.
And this quarter, he has clearly been off the mark.
And yes, sir, that one drops. That's 7 points for Kyrie Irving.
A nice start to the second half. Just
Stevenson kicks to Allen. Here's Randolph. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
Zach Randolph getting up there in his mid-30s, but his game has never been based on explosiveness. So it's all about strength, skill, and craft when you talk about Zebo, and he's aging gracefully.
And so he makes both from the line. And Randolph Clark can struggle in matchups against quicker power forwards or those spread fours.
Yeah, but even though he struggles on the perimeter against those guys, he punishes them when he gets them inside in his operating area at the offensive end. Most big men have a hard time dealing with him in the paint.
Very good point. Gasol a screen. Randolph dishes to Gasol. That one rolling around and rims out.
Not a quarter to remember as far as his offense is concerned.
Yeah, you know, he's not making any kind of impact for them at that end of the court right now.
And he's going to get whistled for that foul, G. That was intentional, but not exactly logical.
How about pointless to foul there? I mean, I don't know where his head is, but it's not in the game.
Gasol, a screen on Irving. The feed now to Randolph. Baseline jumper. Shot's good. Randolph's got 6 points in the quarter.
Well, he certainly isn't the one to blame for them being in the hole. He's been on the money with his game.
Anthony on the wing. From 12 feet out. That's short off the rim. The Grizzlies trail by 11. Stevenson setting the pick for Carter. And Irving comes to help. Out of bounds. Cleveland will take possession.
Looking now at some numbers for Irving. Good season for him last year. Put up about 21 points a game, 5 assists, and 3 rebounds. And just look at those scoring totals. He's been doing what he does best, putting points on the board.
Absolutely. I mean, he has those real natural scoring instincts. The ability to find creases in the defense. Just fantastic.
Catching up on the changes for Memphis. Chris Anderson is checked in for Gasol. Wright comes in for Zach Randolph. And Matt Barnes is subbed in for Allen. One bit of news for the Grizzlies last year is that they acquired a single affiliation deal with a D-League team, which you think is going to help them.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, that team is the Iowa Energy. They're a sole partner now with the Iowa Energy. Good move by the team in what is becoming a growing trend in the NBA.
And here's Anthony from the arc. And the rebound goes to the Grizzlies. And stolen by Kyrie Irving. Cleveland moving it around. Anthony, the pass to James. That's good. LeBron's got 6 in the quarter.
And for Memphis and the D-League, they made the most of it. Sent 3 players for a total of 14 assignments with the Energy. And that's how you make the most of an affiliate.
And Stevenson kicks to Wright. And Thompson sends it back. That drops. 59 seconds left in the third quarter. And stolen by Wright. Carter dishes to Stevenson. He kicks it to Barnes. It's Vince Carter on the wing. Anderson a screen on Wade. 6 on the shot clock. Back to Anderson. Passes to Carter. Gets the three-pointer to fall. Carter's got himself on the board with 3 there.
You know, considering the Grizzlies and their D-League partnership, it really makes sense for the franchise. Memphis has always been a place where they grow their own talent. A lot of good players have come out of Memphis. Not a lot of big names signed in free agency by the Grizzlies.
And it's good. 10 points for Kyrie Irving.
Tit for tat right there, huh, guys?
Didn't take them long at all, fellas, to get those 3 points back.
Stevenson drives in. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
No, I tell you what, he earned his money on that foul.
Yeah, if you're going to foul, then make sure that you don't give a chance for the and 1.
The Grizzlies have gone 3 of 4 at the free throw line tonight.
And last season, 77% from the line. They could usually get the job done there.
Yeah, they had the kind of success from the line that would make any coach breathe a sigh of relief, guys.
The Cavaliers shooting their 4th and 5th attempts at the free throw line tonight. And he makes the first.
Taking 2 shots.
And that's good as he hits both of his shots. And as we end the third quarter, a double-digit deficit.
All right, Memphis, you got your Grizzlies.
And thanks again for joining us. Let's see what happens here in the fourth. The Cavaliers leading by 14. So on the floor for Cleveland, we've got Allen Iverson. Jefferson is out there with Channing Frye. Then there's Chris Anderson, and it's Rivers in at the 1. And that one's good.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Well, listless and lifeless at the defensive end. I mean, especially inside. They've really got to pick up that interior defense.
The free throw drops for Rivers. Austin Rivers traded to the Clippers last year. A change of scenery did him well, and he was comfortable coming off the bench.
And that's a great point, Kevin. I mean, he seemed to get steady playing time, and that's what he needed most. And also, he wasn't defined by position. They were able to find a niche role for him to play in.
Good work defensively by Gasol.
And he thought he had a clear path to the hoop, but the defense didn't give up on that play and cut him off.
Cleveland's gone to the three-pointer 11 times tonight, nailed 5 of them. Here's Rivers, drills the baseline jumper.
No doubt about the consistency when it comes to scoring the basketball for him tonight. A real nice lift for their offense.
Gasol, a screen on Rivers. And it's Conley penetrating. Pass to Gasol. Deflects the pass. It's stolen by Jefferson. Here's Iverson, and he jams it after taking the nice feed on the run.
And that's how the coach would draw it up on the fast break from start to finish.
Yeah, and what a finish it was, guys. Really nicely done.
Starting.
Timeout called, the Grizzlies.
And one problem with the Cavs last season was they put immediate pressure on themselves. A part of that was the trade for Kevin Love.
And let's get this update now from Doris Burke, who's across the way on the sideline.
Thanks, guys. I was able to hear Dave Yeager coaching his team during that break. He was intent on running the offense through Randolph. Coach has a lot of faith in him offensively and let his players know it, insisting that he be at the forefront of what they do at that end of the court from here on out. A few late-on-the-fly adjustments as the situation gets more desperate for them. It's going to be a tough hill to climb, guys.
Always great to hear from you, Doris. Here's Iverson. That's good. And the Cavaliers lead by 21. As you said, the Cavs put a lot of pressure on themselves because of the trade. You could see it affect the way they came out of the gate, Clark.
And, you know, it was just night and day, Kevin, when the Cavs began to relax and click. I mean, a total transformation and turnaround. They would go 19-20 in the first 39 games and then 34-9 over the rest of the season once those guys gelled and got locked in.
Randolph, and that one falls coming off Conley's feet. Conley's got his third assist on the night. We're in the fourth quarter here, just under 2.5 minutes gone. That's good. And that's now 11 points for Austin Rivers.
We've seen a noticeable improvement out of him since halftime. He didn't have a whole lot working in the first half.
And he drops in the layup off the glass. 6 points for Mike Conley. The Cavaliers leading by 9. Jefferson kicks to Rivers. And we're about 3 minutes into the fourth quarter. The Grizzlies have gone 3 of 5 here in the fourth quarter. Pretty good numbers coming out of the break. Over in the corner, Conley. No good with the triple. The Cavaliers have gone 5 of 8 shooting as we've come down the home stretch in this final quarter. Too long in the paint, and he's hit with a 3-second violation.
You know, guys, coaching in the NBA is not for the faint of heart. Very little job security. I mean, in essence, you get hired to be fired. Let's face it, it's hard to make a bunch of millionaires do what you tell them to when they might be around longer than you will.
And we're about 3.5 minutes into the fourth quarter. Iverson passes to Anderson. From the arc. Once again off the mark by Cleveland. And speaking of coaching, sometimes you'll hear that the coach lost the team. When that happens, is that it? What's your read on that?
You know, I don't quite buy that. I think it's really rare. Winning can cover up a lot of things, and ultimately it does come down to that, being able to smooth out the rough spots, and winning is the best elixir for that.
And for those younger folks who might not be familiar, go online and look at some old clips of Vince Carter. In his prime, Clark, one of the great dunkers the league has ever seen.
And for my money, the greatest game dunk in pro basketball history belongs to him. With Team USA back in 2000, jumped over a 7-2 center and punched it on. Hard to top that.
And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Michael Conley. And that'll be his third foul so far.
You know what? Tried to step in and cut him off, but just didn't get there quick enough.
Yeah, he was one step late that time, Greg.
And here's Iverson outside.
He had 6 points from long range in the first half, but nothing's fallen here since.
Conley against Rivers. And it's Conley penetrating. Gasol kicks to Carter. Lets the three fly. Good, and the assist goes to Gasol. Gasol's got 4 assists now tonight.
And you think back to Vince Carter starting his career with the Raptors, an 8-time All-Star, 2-time All-NBA selection, and he really introduced Canada to the NBA game. And really, I like the fact that even with the big lead, they never coasted.
To me, that's a sign of a really good team, Greg, because you should always be playing against the game and yourself. I know there's an opponent out there, but when you have a lead, it's all about continuing to execute, do what you do, and stay true to that. And I like that aggressiveness and full speed ahead kind of attack that they have.
Allen dishes to Carter, and the layup is good after a nice lead pass. Carter's got 9 points here in the second half.
And for Vince Carter, a superstar in his prime when he was with the Raptors, and his departure left some bad feelings there, no doubt. But, you know, you think back to last season, though, in Toronto, they played a video tribute which brought Vince to tears. I mean, that was nice to see the reconciliation.
Conley gets the bucket.
You know, of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is major smash mouth basketball, guys.
All about imposing your will offensively, getting exactly the kind of looks their coach drew up. And clearly, we will not be witnessing a spirited comeback tonight, albeit as exciting as that would be. This was an excellent all-around performance for the Cavaliers.
You know, Clark, when you shoot this well from three-point range, you're really hard to stop. The defense didn't rotate out fast enough to stop the hot shooters.
Well, you said it all there, Kevin. They were lethal from behind the arc.
And so with this, they'll end up with their 2nd win on the year.
And it always feels good to get that first win in the season series. Going head-to-head twice this year, this will put them up 1-0 so far against the Grizzlies.
And what a huge standout performance it was for Kyrie Irving. You can't look back at too many major moments in this game and not see his imprint put all over it.
From deep, James. The shot no good. Good work defensively by Conley. And so it's Cleveland taking care of business in this one. And in the win, a comfortable win in what was, I think, gee, a pretty hostile environment.
It really was. You know, it's never going to be easy on the road, but they didn't have too many problems with that tonight.
And a chance now to send you over to Doris Burke, standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Kevin, thank you. Tristan, what was Coach's focus for this team coming into tonight's game?
Coach got after us, told us to start, we got to play defense. Just can't come in here and just let them make a score opportunity. We got to play defense and get back.
Tristan, thank you. Kevin, sometimes you've just got to light the fire.
All right, Doris, great job. Thanks so much. And that'll do it, folks. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan saying thank you for watching the NBA presented by 2K Sports. And this broadcast has not...
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Thank you, Kevin. And now we get a chance to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Kyrie Irving.
He went about his business tonight so efficiently on the offensive end. It was very savvy. It was a heads-up performance. It seemed like he had his hand on about every single basket, from scoring to assist.
Kyrie, this dude is a composed, mature leader. Along with all that mental strength, he's got such an incredible feel for the game. He runs the floor, he passes beautifully, and he can shoot from lights out from anywhere on the court.
And that wraps things up, folks. Thanks for joining us. For Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, Kevin Harlan, and the rest of the 2K Sports crew, I'm Ernie Johnson. Good night, everybody.
I gotta hold down the city.
Gotta let you know where I come from.
I gotta hold down the city.
Gotta let you know.
I gotta hold down the city.
Gotta let you know where I come from.
Hit on my laps in the gym, the sweat ran off my skin. They thought I ran out of breath, but I was just catching my wind. That only happens to them. I gotta capture my win. I practice 31 days a month and I practice again. Was born equipped with sportsmanship, so I just laugh and I grin. Victory is my objective, I don't have to pretend. Spread my wings like an eagle and let them flap in the wind. No guts, no glory, no pain, no gain. These are actions of men. My teammate is a warrior, got my back to the end. My offense is God sent. You gon' have to defend. My crossover is vicious, I got more swagger than him. Hit the bottom of the net or the back of the rim. Your style is a flagrant foul. Your score, I'ma take it down. All of your trash talking was pointless. Say it now. You slacking in goaltending. My actions are bone chilling. Got the home court advantage. I'm back on the road winning.
I gotta hold down the city.
Gotta let you know where I come from.
I gotta hold down the city.
Gotta let you know.
I gotta hold down the city.
Gotta let you know where I come from.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Greetings, everybody.
Welcome, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to 2K Sports for another edition of NBA basketball. I'm Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. Looking at Chicago, they took the win in their last game against the Hawks.
And how about the game plan that was constructed for that one? I mean, it was apparent how powerless the D was to stop it.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. I mean, they just didn't have an answer for anything they threw at them.
And so off the tip, it's Jacksonville. Let's check out Chicago's starting lineup. Rose is the 1 with Butler as the 2. Williams is out there with Doug McDermott, and it's Gasol in at the center, filling out the middle. Now Rose, after Dwayne Wade's three-pointer that didn't go. Williams has a screen for Rose. Williams with the ball. Wade picks him up. Shot clock at 6. Williams a screen. Fires the three. McDermott can't get it to go. Well, what a season for Kyrie Irving last year. Huge moments for him. 57-point outburst against San Antonio. That was a new franchise record for the Cavs.
I think a lot of it was finally being able to play with other All-Stars, quite honestly, Kevin, but you can't discount the work Irving put into the offseason to be ready for the regular season.
McDermott, no one around him. Yes, and it's Rose with the assist that time.
A good open look, and he splashes home the three.
Wade up top. Boy, he was something else against the Lakers.
Awesome defense. I mean, he'll hit those unless you're right in his grill.
McDermott can't get it to go.
That is some tough defense there against one of the better finishers. Guys, that's just really unstoppable. He have matchup problems for whomever he's facing.
To the left wing. Here's McDermott. Soft touch off the glass. McDermott's got his second bucket of the night.
Defensively, that possession better not start a trend because they just handed him 2 points.
Irving can't hit. Chicago's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. And Butler, here we go. Almost, but it rolls out. For Jacksonville, they won their last contest, that game against Los Angeles.
And in that game, guys, I mean, the beneficiary of what was some very lackluster defense being played against them.
Agreed, guys.